Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I'm Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, honey child, we are here today. We are gathered coming in, y'all. You know, my beautiful ones, my quiet one, my tranquil butterflies, okay? We are coming up in here, child. This is my review recap for The Oval, all right? And one thing The Oval gonna do is make me laugh, okay? If it don't do nothing else, it's gonna give me a good old chuckle, baby. I hollered a couple times during this episode, honey. All right, we got, of course, you know, Donald being Donald, honey. Okay, he gonna give you the one-liners. He gonna be crazy and deranged. You know, we got the VP wife playing dumb. Is she really playing dumb or is she dumb? You know, we also got Alan acting like he dumb out here in these streets as well. But we still got my man Sam, you know, and Rich is somewhat holding it down, not really falling for this, right? And Bobby ain't falling for it either, but Bobby got his nose wide open for daggone Liddy, honey. Ain't nothing else mattering to Bobby, you know, but that. Hunter still think Victoria's raggedy, and she think he raggedy too, child. And they still a hot damn mess. Ain't a damn thing changed when it comes to that part, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this episode, all right? Whew, child. So the name of this episode was Guns A-Blazing. This is season 4, episode 6. So as we start out this episode, you know, of course we are all, you know, getting home or on our way home, coming from this VP house and trying to really be like, you know, is he telling the truth or isn't he? You know, him and Victoria still on his phone. He done just hung up the phone and we got his wife coming in saying, who the heck you talking to? And he's basically like, you know, I was handling some business while what's going on. What happened? You know, what did you hear? She gonna say she didn't hear nothing. She was just curious. And he was like, well, why are you asking me like that? You don't normally come in here and be asking me who I'm on the phone with. But I'm like, doesn't she? Because there's been plenty of times when they both been there while he's talking, or she's been like, who was that? What did they say? What's our next move and stuff like that. Now he wanted to tell her that he was on the phone with Max, and she's just like, are you sure? But then I'm like, sis, are we playing or are we for real? Because she just was like, you know, it was just curiosity. Okay, it wasn't nothing to it. And I just wanted to know, you know, what was going on. She was like, you know, I didn't really hear anything or whatever, right? I just heard you on the phone. So, you know, she goes on to say, like, is all of this stuff really over? I guess we should be relieved and happy that, you know, we done got through this. And he wanted to tell her that they got to take a trip to the White House tomorrow and apologize to them. And she was like, excuse me? Nah, I'm not doing that. I ain't apologizing to her. He was like, you know, we have to. They are innocent. We literally accused them of murder. And she was like, well, shoot, we had good reason to accuse them. Like, do you really believe that is nothing going on with them and everything that we've been thinking all this time is not true? It still could be some things that could be real. And he was basically like, look, I just showed you, you know, all the evidence. We seen all the videotape and stuff like that. So we have to go over there and apologize. And she was like, you could do that on your own. I ain't doing it. You know, he's saying, no, we have to basically go ahead and do this together. He's like, why not? He's like, you know, I need you to be the strong black woman that I know that you are. You know, Simone, we was out here accusing them of all different kind of things. So she was like, I'm still not convinced that that's not the case. So he's like, what are you, a conspiracy theorist now? She was like, look, it's all a little too convenient for me, all right? So I said, yes, sis, please use your damn senses, all right? And he over here talking about, you know, I have the proof right here. So she was telling him that even some of the people that was there didn't really look like they all believed it or whatever. And he was like, really, which ones? He was like, you know, to me, they all seemed like they felt more safe and happy hearing that it was all over. And she was like, yeah, some of them did, but some of them didn't. So he was like, well, what exactly, which ones did you notice? He was like, you're a very observant woman and a smart woman or whatever, right? And so tell me what you peeped out here in these streets, okay? But she was like, no, you know, just leave it alone or whatever. So he's like, oh, you're not going to tell me? And she basically was like, no. So I said, okay, VP wife, all right, I am with you, Miss Simone. You know, hang in there, keep some stuff to yourself, because honey, you don't need to trust your damn husband at this point either. But nonetheless, moving right along, she basically was saying to him like, yeah, I'm not gonna go over there. You could do that on your own as far as that concerned. That lady is evil, and just because you so-called got this evidence, it does not change the fact that she is still trash, okay? And he was still steadily trying to convince her, that she has to be a part of this as well. He beating her in the head, telling her that she's a good judge of character, and what happens to the woman that always stands by his side and defends him. And she was like, can we just move on, honey? Okay, please, please, please. So he was like, okay. He said, well, I'm going to put in the call and let them know that we're going to come and talk to them. And she was like, excuse me, what part didn't you understand? She was like, who you going to call? He was like, the president and the first lady. And she was like, child, did you not hear me say that I am not going? Okay. So he was like, Simone, we work for them. We have to go. She said, well, you do that. All right. I'm telling you what I'm doing. And she went ahead and walked out. He was still trying to call after her. So once she walked out, he ain't wasting no time. He calling Victoria back, and she's like, did she hear you on the phone? He's like, yeah, she heard me. Did she know it was me? No, she didn't. And so he tells her what his game plan is, what he plans on sending her this info that's going to let her know what story that old Cal behind could use. And she's like, okay, I'm on it. She says, as a matter of fact, she's going to personally take it over there to Donald House to show it to him. She's going to take a small motorcade. He over here talking about you don't do nothing small. She said, unfortunately, I do. Okay, I've been doing my husband for years, and he's small, all right? But, she wants to take this to him. She thinks it would be better to do in person. And, supposedly the whole, Uma committed, took her own life or whatever the case may be, because he had found out this info on her, and she was just still amazed that they actually supposedly bought this story or whatever, right? And she's gonna do her part from her end. Now, in the midst of her talking on the phone, she was like, well, before that, he tells her that they will be coming to apologize. So he was like, you can't be giving Simone a hard time. She said, oh no, Victoria definitely gonna give her a hard damn time, okay? And he was like, nah, you really can't do that. So she's like, okay. So now Hunter walks in, and he's like, yo, who the hell you on the phone with? So, VP is saying, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get off the phone. And she keeps saying no. And she turning around telling Hunter, it's her man. Mind his damn business, okay? And he was like, listen, hang the damn phone up, okay? Ain't nobody playing no damn games with you. I need to talk to you. And then VP was like, I'm going to hang up. So she turned around and she like, what the hell is it? What do you want? Why the hell are you in my face? And Hunter's basically like, I know you're behind this. I know you had something to do with it with your wicked ass. He was like, what did you do? What are you up to? Is your father in on this with you? Of course, she don't even fully know what he's talking about, because she don't know about the damn doctor saying that, that was not even Jason or whatever, right? So she's not paying him no mind, whatever he accusing her of. She could care less. She just worried about this concoction that she's over here fixing up with the VP. And so, he was just like, girl, you trash, all right? Everybody knows you trash. I wish you was dead. She was like, yeah, well, I wish the same thing to you. So she's basically like, why are you still, in my face? She said, you stink. You need to go wash your ass, okay? And he was like, yeah, that's the stink off of you. So he got ahead to go in the daggone, bathroom. Of course, before that, she was trying to say, how much coke have you done? And telling him he needs to calm down. He said, I did enough to deal with you. So I said, these people crazy as hell. She over here asking him, have you even did any work? They be on the news talking about you, what I'm saying? Like you a damn dog, because you haven't did a damn thing since you came into this damn, White House. You are freaking useless. He asking, why did he marry her? And she was like, you married me because your stupid ass would have been working in the gas station if you didn't. So, at that point, he just went ahead to go take his shower. Now, she go ahead and make a call downstairs, letting them know that she want this small motorcade. First, she asked for damn Sam, and they like, Sam is not here. And she's like, get him here. I said, girl, they told you Sam has been shot. you know. So she started to say how she want the small motorcade, and the guy was like, ma'am, we gonna need some time. That's not something we could whip up like that last minute, you know what I'm saying? He was like, we gotta have notice of that and be able to prepare, and it's for your own safety. She said, well, you got a half an hour to do it. And he basically was like, nah, man, we need more than that. She said, listen, so I'm gonna give y'all, you know, an hour tops. And so he was like, ma'am, that's not how it works. And again, telling her that this is all about her safety. Excuse me, y'all. I'm catching a daggone cold because the weather going up, down, in, out, and all around over here in New York. So, nonetheless, you know, basically she, you know, says, listen, get on it. I don't want to hear no shit. All right. I need to get up out of here. And he's like, okay. So she hang up the phone, you know what I'm saying, from them. So now in the meantime, moving on from there, you know, we basically get to, Richard and Nancy and them riding in the car. They still calling Barry's damn phone, and Barry's still not answering, child. Barry over here working on another damn show. Okay, he ain't got time for y'all. But nonetheless, Richard was saying, like, you know, is he really that mad? He was like, what did he say? And Nancy was saying she wasn't gonna go into it. You know, she wasn't gonna tell him exactly what he said. He was like, what, was he over here being disrespectful or whatever, talking shit about me? So she was like, this kind of reminds me when he was 9 years old, and they both started laughing. She's like, yeah, you forgot about that. So Sharon was like, well, what happened? They was like, man, one time he got mad. He went and hid up underneath the damn house and stayed there all day and all night having this attitude with us. But as soon as them spiders came out and scared his daggone behind, he came running in. So she was like, I guess we just gotta wait for the spiders to show up. So Richard was like, I guess. He was like, man, he got us over here worrying, and then it's just that he's mad. I'm curious to how the hell they gonna spin that damn story, to be honest with y'all, because is it that he's mad and he left, or is it that they done did something to his ass, or maybe he even still looking for his daughter, who apparently we don't even bother mentioning them no more, okay? But nonetheless, I digress, moving right along. And so, you know, they go ahead to try to drive home, and Sharon is saying, so is it really, you know, okay? Do y'all really believe this? Am I going to be able to use my phone and all that different kind of stuff now? Am I going to be able to go home? Richard is like, yeah, you should be able to, but why don't you just stick around and stay at the house for like another day or two? Now, in the meantime, we got Sam over here. You know, he's still trying to baby, please, baby, please, you know, Miss Priscilla or whatever, right? He's saying with everything that happened, he almost lost his life. He almost died. You know, it giving him a different perspective. What if he would have died and he would have never been able to say the things that was unsaid? So he's like, you know, please sit down for a minute and let me talk to you and really just, you know, express myself and say all the things to you that I want to say. And she's just like, oh boy, whatever, Sam. Like, go ahead, say it, all right? Get it the hell out. So he begins to tell her how, you know he was wrong. He's so sorry. He made such a, you know, big mistake. She was such a good woman, standing by his side, being there for him, caring for him and all of that. And he was like, you know, just basically with everything that was going on. And then on top of that, him taking testosterone and being, you know, angry and horny and everything else, and them not having sex with the real. She said, child, if that's what you about to start telling me, you could shut that right the hell up. She was like, I know you are not about to tell me that is why you slept with the damn first lady. And he was like, no, it's not, and it's not an excuse, but he was like, can you please just let me finish? So she like, go ahead, whatever else you gotta say. So he was like, baby, please, 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 okay, begging like he was Keith Sweat, you know. I will never ever do this again. If you give me a chance, you ain't got to worry about it. I will prove myself to you. I will be the man that you need me to be. And she basically was like, okay, if you say so. And he was like, are you serious? For real? You gonna forgive me? She was like, yeah, sure. I'm gonna forgive you after I literally done sat there and watched you on tape with the daggone, you know, first lady with her damn getting it in. On top of that, all the times that she was disrespecting me and trying to torment me. And she's like, they think they gonna run me off, you know, from my job, but they sure the hell ain't. I'm gonna be right there. I'll be there after they gone, because they only gonna last one term anyway. And he basically was like, yeah, you right about that. So then, you know, she told him, like, there's no way I could go back to that. How am I supposed to get that out of my mind? How am I supposed to just get over this? You know, do you think I could just forget what I saw? Do you think I could just move on? And he's like, no, you know, everything that she's saying, no. So she was like, then what the hell do you expect me to do? What are you expecting from me? She was like, being as though that you are hurt because, he all trying to get down on one knee. And she was like, Sam, get your ass up. You are in pain. And she said, if you don't get up, I'm going to punch you in that damn spot where you got shot, okay? And make your ass get in more pain. I said, damn, Priscilla, all right? But she was like, I will let you stay here in the meantime and take care of you as far as this shot that you got, all right, and help you heal. But after that, shit is still on. I still want my divorce and I still want you to go. And he's like, okay. She was like, we have an understanding. He was like, yeah. She was like, good. She get up to go wherever the heck she was going. I have no idea where. All right. Now, moving on from that, we have, who was it? We have Cal and Dan Bobby, honey. They in this car arguing, of course, over the same shit because they are saying, like, do we really believe him? Yeah, he seemed like he was showing proof. How high is your contacts go? Well, mine don't all the way, go all the way up. Mine don't either. Do we really think he's telling the truth or do we think he's in on it? Yeah, we kind of leaning into thinking that he could possibly be in on it, but we don't know for sure. We can't prove that or whatever, right? And of course, Bobby's mind is still on going to get damn Lily. He don't give a damn, He asking if Max gonna go ahead with him. I meant Max. If I said Cal, y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? So Max said, hell no, drop me off by the hotel. I'm about to go take me a damn bubble bath, okay? I ain't got time for you and your shenanigans. You are losing it over this girl. Your nose is wide open and you bugging the hell out. And she don't feel the same damn way about you. And Bobby is like, yeah, I'm going to drop you by the damn hotel, all right? He was like, in a minute, I'm about to tell your ass to, stop, drop, and roll, okay? Lock and roll. That made me laugh, too. He was like, but the car's still moving. He said, I don't give a damn, okay? He was like, stop talking that mess to me or whatever, right? I got my mind made up. I'm walking up in there. I'm going to get her. He said, and what exactly do you think is going to happen? Oh, well, we going to live happily ever after. He said, that's not happening, okay? That is not going to happen. He was like, you do know, I didn't want to say this before, but she left that hotel room on her own because she didn't want to be bothered with you. So once you get there in person, then you're going to know that I'm telling the truth because she could go ahead and tell you this for herself. So he says, just drop me off by my car. And Bobby said, if you would keep your damn mouth shut, then sure, yeah, that's exactly what I'll do. I'll drop you off by the damn car. But if you keep coming with this shit, okay, I'm going to kick your ass up out of this car and you going to be walking. So, he was still telling him like I'm telling the truth. And he was like, nah, you trying to bullshit me. So he says, okay, well, I'll be there after you learn the truth and I'll be in my bubble bath soaking. All right. So Bobby was like, yeah, whatever. His whole plan is to just walk up in there. He's like, he don't want her no more anyway because Max was saying that's his wife. He was like, yeah, but he ain't doing nothing with her. And if what the vice president is saying is true, then I should be able to just walk in there and nothing happens at all. And she should just be able to leave with me. Okay, Bobby, if you say so, right? And so we move on from him where he's just like whatever, man, and he don't want to hear it. He got his mind made up. Now we basically get to, excuse me, y'all, my daggone throat is killing me. We get to, I think it was Richard and them getting home. No matter of fact, before Richard and them get home, we actually get to Alan and Dell sitting out here, right? They back at the campsite. Now, these two is bickering back and forth because Alan want to turn on his phone and check the messages for a minute, make a full, phone call. And Dale is saying, don't do it. They could track us. Once you turn it on, the towers is not far from us. And Alan is saying, I know they're 5 miles away in that direction. Is going to be real quick. I'm just going to check the messages. He was like, you being more damn paranoid, than me. And he was like, don't forget that I'm the one that was the assistant or whatever that worked in the White House and they tried to kill me. And Dale was like, well, don't forget that I'm the one that was sleeping with his damn man. And so basically, Alan is like, yeah, whatever. And Dale is like, I'm being dead serious right now. That wasn't a joke. So he was like, well, damn, how many damn people, did you sleep with? You need to keep it in your damn pants. I said, no, he didn't, right? So Zell was like, you got a lot of nerve being damn judgmental or whatever. So he just kept going back and forth with him, like, please, do not do that, because then they're going to know where we are. And he's saying that he's not, they're not, and that it's going to be real quick. And basically they're going to move to a different area. So now in the meantime, of course he doesn't listen, okay? All of a sudden Alan want to act like he don't know, his head from his damn behind or whatever. And he calls, and there's about 3 different messages from damn Donald. The first one is like, call me, you need to get in here. The second one is like, you better not make me call you again. By the third one, he's like, you're going to get fired from not answering these calls and not coming into work. Here go Alan talking about some, oh shit. And so Dell is like, what he said, oh, that's him, that's my boss, he's telling me to come into work. Why would he be calling me, if he has something to do with this, unless he must be didn't have nothing to do with it and didn't know that the guy was coming after me or whatever the case may be. That guy was crazy. He could have been just doing that on his own. I said, really, Alan? And so Dale is saying, like, that would be a part of the game, child. That's what he would do, to try to set you up and get you back there and be able to do something to you. He's like, now you done called and they done probably peeped the damn location. He like, I'm getting up out of here. I'm moving somewhere different. Obviously it's a setup. So he's ready to start getting up and getting his stuff together. And Alan over here talking about, what are you doing? You can't leave me. You can't go nowhere without me. He was like, you believing that guy's actually crazier than your boss or whatever. That's what Dale is saying to Alan. So in this situation, he's actually making more sense than Alan. And Alan want to turn and talk about some, oh, you just worked at the damn pharmacy or whatever. I worked at the White House. You don't know what the hell you talking about. So Dale said, okay, let me, my little pharmacy ass that don't know what I'm talking about, get the hell up out of here and leave you. He over here trying to stop him from leaving, like, no, you can't leave me, I'm going with you, or whatever the case may be, right? But now, of course, they done damn exposed themselves. Now, in the meantime, Nancy and them get back home, and we seeing old Miss, what the heck is her name, yo? This lady cracks me up. Miss Jody is out here sweeping, child. Okay, not raking up the leaves, but sweeping it, and they walking past saying hi, and she's not saying hi to Sharon or, Nancy back, but she says hi to Richard. She's completely ignoring them, and she lets Richard know to tell them that, y'all was trying to be cute and funny with me before, so now I'm ignoring y'all. And so Nancy apologizes, and she's like, that's a little bit better. So she was like, yeah, I seen when the damn president came. So Richard was like, yo, you can't be saying that all loud. And she was like, ain't nobody listening to me, but you. And Nancy was like, the whole damn neighborhood could hear you, okay? And so she basically was saying to her, like, she apologized or whatever, and Richard saying, you can't talk about that. And she was like, man, I seen him, and I took pictures, and I posted it on my social media. So, Richard was like, you got to take that down. You can't have that up. She was like, no, it's too late. She said, but they took down my personal page. They shut it down. It's the government, and I know all the funny stuff they do. They locked me out of my account. But she said, that's bullshit, okay? So he was like, Judy, you got to be careful. And she said, why was he here? He said, because he had to pick up something from me. Well, what was it that he had to pick up? Oh, it was personal. Oh, is he coming back? I don't think so. So she said, well, the next time he do come back, I'm going to be taking pictures of him, and I wouldn't want a picture with him. So he said, well, I'll let him know, I'll see what I could do. She said, no, I'm doing it. You talking about some personal. This my damn neighborhood. What the hell he wanted? Personal, my ass. She was like, that white man coming all up and through here like he owning shit or whatever. I said, Miss Jody, stop it. She talking about, he gonna, come and get shit when he feel like it or whatever. So Richard telling her, like, Miss Jody, you can't talk like that. And she was like, listen, I'll talk any daggone way I want to talk. So, at the end of the day, she was like, they was telling her everything's fine. You don't have to worry about it. He was like, she said, well, next time he come, I'm getting my picture. He said, I'll tell him. I'll try to see what I could do. She says, okay. So as they going in, they ask if she seen Barry. No, I ain't seen your damn son, okay? I ain't nosy or something. What the hell you think? She was like, I don't know where your child is at. So they like, yeah, okay, whatever. Thank you very much. So then Richard turned and was like, do you want to borrow my rake or whatever? So she talking about, I don't need no rake. I like using the damn broom, And he was like, well, you could bring back my dustpan when you finish with it too. So she was like, don't get cute, okay? She was like, this old raggedy piece piece of shit. She said, you know, y'all got some of my stuff over there at y'all house too that y'all ain't brought back. I said, Lord, y'all better leave damn, you know, Judy alone, honey. She said, and good night to you. So now when they get in the house, you know, Nancy says she gonna start dinner. Sharon was like she'll help her or whatever. And Richard step in the living room for a minute. And he go ahead and him and Sam get on the phone. And Sam is like, you know, I'm gonna need you to get on over here and, you know, meet me at the spot. You know, he was asking Sam, like, why didn't you say anything about Jason? He was like, I don't know. I didn't feel like, you know, anybody should know about that. We should still kind of try to hold something underneath our belt. I didn't want to share that info right now. So he was like, I want you to meet me there. But Richard was like, listen, stop acting like a damn hero, okay? What I'm going to do is drive over to you, pick you up, and we going to ride there together. So Sam says, okay. Now, in the meantime, we got this agent that's coming over and telling Cal, like, yo, we found him. He like, who? He was like, Alan. So he was like, you know, basically, of course, from that call that Alan made, they tracked him. So now he like, do we have a picture? Of course, they got a picture all quick. And when he looking at it, he like, oh, shoot. So he's like, what? You know that kid that's with him? He's like, yeah, I do. He's like, interesting. So he's talking about some they working together. And Cal was like, I guess they are. Of course, he is seeing Dell with Alan. And so now he's like telling the guy, just keep an eye on him. Let him know when he get there. Don't do nothing yet until he give the okay. But just make sure that he have them in sight. So I said, whatever, okay, you know. And now, you know, in the meantime, you know, of course, Sam and Richard is trying to go up here to see what's going on with Jason, and you got Kareem knocking at the door. He comes. Sharon puts him up to date as to what's going on, and he was like, you really believe that? He was like, that's suspicious. That guy is crazy as hell. Okay, of course, talking about Hunter. So he's like, how all of a sudden he just gonna leave it alone, and you went to see the vice president and all of that kind of stuff. So he's like, well, if that's the case and everything is all good, then, you know, come on back with me or whatever to the pharmacy. And he was saying that, of course, you know, Dell and Alan had left him and that they're grown and he can't control them and he can't make them stay what she want him to do, because she was like, can you just let them stay camping? So she was saying, no, actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and stay here for another day or two. Of course, here go Kareem. Oh, why? Because of Barry. You want Barry and this and that. She was like, no, first of all, Barry is not even here. It's not even about that. He was like, but what the hell is it about? Please explain it to me, because I don't get it, Sharon. And he was saying, like, are you mad at me? Are you feeling a certain way because I didn't step up and, you know, I didn't do nothing? What did you expect me to do when this is the most powerful man? And she was like, no, it's not about that or whatever, you know. She said, but I did kind of feel like, Dad, you just sat there and said nothing. So he's like, really, Sharon? She was like, well, I'm just being honest and, you know, expressing my feelings, but it really didn't have nothing to do with that. And she was like, at this point, we don't have no choice but to wait and see what the heck is going to happen and, you know, kind of take him for his word for now until we see otherwise or whatever, right? But she just kept saying, like, don't do that and don't come out like that. She was like, what is it? And he was like, I'm just sick of this. I'm tired of this. So now when he go walking out, you know, here comes Sharon laughing. Okay, I'm sorry, not Sharon. Here come Miss Nancy laughing at Sharon like, oh, girl, you got these guys going crazy over you, honey. Both of them is fighting for you and getting mad with you, huh? And so she's like, it's not funny, Miss Nancy. And I'm like, yeah, Nancy, it really isn't funny. Like, at the end of the day, one of the guys that's in here fighting and getting mad over shit is your son that you can't even find right now, girl. Whatever, yeah, okay. So moving on from there, we basically had, you know, Richard and Sam get up here to this cabin, and the guy's telling Sam, like, damn, you look horrible. And he like, yeah, I feel horrible. You know, he told him he got a daggone, you know, shot he could give him, do he wanted. And he basically was like, yeah. And so he's like, is Jason up or whatever? You know, I think it was adrenaline that he had. And he was like, yeah, can you wake him up? He was like, yeah, he can. You know, he told them how Jason tried to come at him with the knife and all of that. And they was like, did he? They was like, you know, he should have known better than that. it was funny too, because when Richard and Sharon and Nancy was riding in the car, they also was saying like how Hunter wasn't gonna be in office for that long, and they was gonna make sure everybody voted his ass out. Okay, Nancy said she was gonna bring the whole church. Sharon said she was getting all her people, and they was like, Richard, you gotta do your part too. And he was like, of course I will. He said wasn't nobody running him up out of there, after he been working there all these damn years, right? He would basically see him go. So, getting back to the cabin while they there with Jason, they wake him up and he talking about, hi, Sam, hi, Richard. And they asking him how he feeling. And he basically was like, I don't feel too good. And they like, yeah, I guess so, right? Jumping off that damn roof. What made you do that? And he was saying, because of my crazy ass parents, my sick parents, I wanted to get away from them. Okay, they are plain old evil or whatever, right? And he was saying he's not so good. And they like, yeah, I'm sure, we wouldn't expect you to be like, we can't believe you jumped. And so they like, yeah, but what was really the story? What was going on with Gene? Okay, we got some questions for you or whatever. Why did you do that? And what exactly happened with Gene? So he over here talking about, who's Gene or whatever, like who? And they was like, stop playing stupid. We know you know who Gene is, all right? So come on, spell it out, keep it real, like tell the truth, shame the devil. Let's get all this out in the open now, okay? And so they basically, he basically was like, oh, that was because of my dad. Like, are y'all gonna go after my dad? Is he gonna get arrested now? A lot of this falls on him and was his fault. He was like, he's basically the one that sexually assaulted her. He was like, you talking about Jean, the maid that passed away. And so they was like, yeah, we need to know what happened. And of course they all got the surprised damn looks on their damn face when he talking, even though we should not be surprised about any damn thing at this point, right? And he just keeps saying, my father did it, right? And so, of course, they look at each other. Now, in the meantime, we get back over to Lily. Lily coming down the stairs, child. Lily's like, oh, Donald, he's singing, you look better. And she's like, oh, Donald, I need some pain medication. I need some pain meds, Donald. So he like, no. He over here sipping on his drink. And she like, Donald, please. So he like, here, at first I thought he was about to give her the drink, but he actually does take out the pain pill. Lily over here getting on her damn knees, crawling over to him, grunting and every damn thing, reaching out for it. So he said, she's like, please, Donald. He said, girl, calm your damn ass down, okay? You doing too much. You being a crackhead right now. Yo, I freaking died laughing when he said that. I ain't even going to die. So he was like, take it easy. Shit, it's going to take you a minute, for it to kick in. So he like, come on, baby, calm yourself down, So she talking about some, why are you doing this? This is so crazy. I don't understand. You threatening my family. He was like, you damn right. That's basically my insurance. She was like, well, I don't like it. He was like, of course you don't. I didn't think you would, baby. He was like, but somebody head gonna be up there on the wall if you keep playing with me, especially your mom. She was like, that's not funny, Donald. Don't say that. And he was like, I'm just saying, all right, keep that in mind. So she basically was like, you did all this to me. He was like, well, shit, you shot me, but I'm healing up just fine or whatever. And she was like, nah, he said it's the same as it's always been, baby. You being on my side, loving me the way you always have, us being in a good marriage. And she was like, I can't do this. And he was like, yes, you can. She was like, you lied to me, you choked me, you shot me, and all of this stuff. He said, oh, God, baby, would you calm down? You so damn dramatic. He was like, if I wanted you dead, trust me, you would be dead, okay? You still here. It was just a little 22 caliber. I said, Donald is something. So she was like, I should have shot you in your big ass head. He said, yeah, but you didn't. Why? So she was basically, just standing up and not saying nothing. And he was like, you want to know why? And she was like, Donald, because I was shot. He said, no, it was because you love me. So, of course, she started laughing hysterically. He was like, you love me, woman. You know what a right you always have and you always will. I said, will she, Donald? Really, though? So she was like, you are so wrong. You are so damn wrong or whatever, right? So he was like, yeah, well, you better damn sure I start acting like it, okay? So he said, how's that shoulder? And she was saying it's still hurting. He said, yeah, the pain pills haven't kicked in yet. So she over here, oh God, oh God. And he was like, you know, Lily, why you making this so hard? This life is good, okay? She was like, well, I don't want it with you. He was like, you sure about that? He was like, who else is going to give that to you? So she was like, you are no God. And he was like, yeah, you want to bet? He was like, who the hell, you know, is bigger than me? And she said, you better stop playing with God, boy, okay? That ain't no joke, all right? So he was like, please, Lily, who is giving you all of this? All right. Who's giving you this life? When you going to have all this stuff at like this, honey? Okay. I done gave you the best that you could ever have, the best that you could ever get. Ain't nobody doing it like me. You can't have this life without me. You see all of this? He was like, girl, stop playing. And she was like, you know, I will. He was like, and who gonna give it to you? Who? Bobby? Bobby, where he at? Where he at with his guns blazing? You know, now he has stood up and said that part. Now he's sitting back down in the chair. So he's like, where he at? Where he at? Lily said, behind you. And Bobby came up. I said, oh shit, bitch. Oh shit, bitch. Okay. That was kind of cute. That was kind of cute, okay? But that was the Oval, y'all. That was the Oval. Put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about this, child. Where the hell are we going with these people and their craziness and foolishness, honey? Put it all in the comments. Let's discuss, okay? Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. All right, y'all. So